Hi guys, sorry for the bad lighting. This is another paranormal video. I did some research on another story that is in Florida. The last video I did, I believe, is Casadega, and this one is going to be on Robert the Doll. Now, Robert the Doll, the exhibit is in Key West, Florida, and the doll inspired the horror movie Chucky. In a Victorian mansion called the Artist House, Robert Eugene Otto, the painter, lived there. Now, as a young child, um, Robert was he was an only child. And before he was born, um, his father went, well, actually, when he was born, I'm correcting myself, sorry. When he was born, his father went to the Bahamas to look for a nanny to take care of this child. And the wife realized that he was gone for too long. He came back with this African American lady from the Bahamas, and basically she was pregnant, and she found out that he got her pregnant, so she was pissed, and she took the servant lady from the Bahamas. She took her and she basically put her in an outhouse. She locked her in there in her backyard in the hot Florida heat. I think for 3 days. Yeah, 3 days. And she only got fed once. She finally had that baby, and that baby lasted, I think, about 2 months, and the baby died. After that, she was released out of the outhouse and she was brought into the home. And she, Mrs. Otto, gave birth to her child because she was expecting a child on her way. And when the child was born, the Bahamian lady became very attached to this kid. And his name is Robert. And basically, she gets very extremely attached to this kid. And one night, Mrs. Otto wanders out the backyard hearing a commotion, and a lot of the servant ladies were Bahamian women. And basically, they were performing like a ritual, and it was like a voodoo ritual or what have you. And there was like a live chicken that she witnessed being, its head being chopped off and stuff like that. So, it's called Santeria. It's a mix of voodoo, Catholicism, and animal sacrifice. So basically, she witnessed animal sacrifice, and it scared the shit out of her. So she basically told all these ladies to get up and leave. And when the Bahamian lady found out that she also had to leave with these ladies back to the Bahamas, she's very sad about this because she was very, very connected with Robert. She fell in love with that child. It was like he was like her own because her child had died because of Miss Otto. And back then, slaves didn't really get, the support they needed. It was still legal to have African American slaves. At that time. So before she left a doll with little Robert. And basically, as soon as she left, weird shit started happening. When she left, the doll, Robert was seen speaking to the doll a lot. And one night in his room, his mom went to go check on him, I guess, and he was talking, and she heard her son, her son's voice speaking or whatever, and then she heard a deeper voice speaking, and she heard her son crying. She opened the door up. He was in the corner crying, and the doll was facing him. A lot of things in the house was getting broken and stolen and misplaced, and throughout the years it just kept going on. It's believed that the lady cursed the doll with a voodoo spirit that was haunting the family, and this is why he's inspired Chucky. This doll, later on, at 19 years old, they decide to leave to France, and they left the doll in this chest, and they left that mansion. And basically, he finds a woman. Robert finds a woman. He falls in love with that woman. He gets married with her, and then he comes back to his old house, which is the mansion in Key West, Florida. And he finds a chest, and he opens it up, and it's Robert. And another fun fact: when he was little, he started getting this behavioral problem after the servant lady left. Basically, he didn't want to be called Robert anymore. He was calling the doll Robert, and his full name is Eugene Robert something or another. But basically, he wanted to be called Gene, and he gave the doll his first full name. Now, fast forward to all of this, and he's married, and he's back in the mansion. The weird stuff happens again, and after he finds the doll, he's 19 years old. He's fully grown at this point. I think he's going into his 20s, and he's still talking to this doll. And weird stuff keeps happening. There's footsteps going on, so they finally tie him to the highest peak of the house. And kids were outside. Neighbor kids were reporting seeing him moving. They can hear him in the house. And finally, they left that house, and they didn't leave that house. Finally, they sent the doll away, and the people who had it, they found Robert walk into a room with a kitchen knife in his hand. So after all of this stuff happens, the doll turns up again, and basically Robert was found dead with the doll on top of him and the doll's hands around his neck. So, I mean, this is an urban legend. There is an exhibit in Key West, Florida. I think this has also been featured on Ghost Adventures. I don't know if they actually did something to that matter. They probably did, because I'm a big fan of the show. But, yeah, there is an exhibit, and basically, if you don't ask permission to take a picture of Robert, supposedly you get cursed, and it's something bad really happens. And a lot of people that took his picture without asking permission, the exhibit or museum started receiving letters apologizing to Robert, because I guess a lot of bad things were happening to them. So that concludes the story of Robert the Doll. He can be found in the Key West, Florida area. The mansion site, I don't know if you can actually tour it, but you can probably see it, and there is an exhibit. So thank you guys. This is another one of my paranormal videos. Like I said, I'm going to try to spread these out throughout the rest of the month of October. I don't know how persistent they will be, but like I said, I'm going to try as much as I can. So until next time, guys, stay tuned. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That helps me out a lot. Thank you guys for viewing my videos. Thank you guys for being with me and commenting in the comments and just being really awesome viewers. Until next time, guys, bye.